Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to another brand new Let's Play on the channel featuring Total War 3 Kingdoms. We're going to be doing a challenge run this time. What we're going to do is we're going to play Ma Teng in the 194 start in the World Betrayed DLC. And the challenge that I'm going to set for myself is that we are only going to use Qiang units. And Qiang units are these unique nomadic tribalmen that are part of the Qiang subculture, and it's being featured on two generals in the game, and that is Ma Teng and Han Sui. Now of course Han Sui is not playable, at least for now, but in the future when Han Sui becomes playable, I'm pretty sure the Qiang forces will be added to him as well. Right now you can only play the Qiang as Ma Teng or as Sima Yin over in the 8 Princes DLC, or if you're playing as the bandit factions, you can get a few Qiang units through your bandit network forms. But for us, we have them as our unique feature. So let's first take a quick look at Ma Teng himself and why we picked his start and why we're doing this challenge. So Ma Teng here is one of the governor factions in the game, which you can see right here. And as a loyalist to the Han, our path to victory means we cannot create our own emperor seat. We have to reach the rank of king, but not become an emperor. At that time, the next three strongest factions, assuming we're the first one to king, if they beat us to it, then they will trigger the 3 kingdoms, and so far the AI has never beaten me to king rank, but let's assume they do. Then at that point, 3 factions will form empires, and they will be seat of emperors all over the map. We cannot create one of those ourselves, even if we become the first faction to reach king. And if we are the first one to reach king, then the next 3 strongest that are not governor factions will then declare themselves emperor, and then we have to hunt down those seats. And by the time we hunt down the first seat, once we have a seat of emperor, then we become an emperor ourselves, and then we get the imperial court. So just because of that, we have a delayed period where we are not emperor just yet. And aside from this slightly unique playstyle, as we have never actually played a governor faction on the channel. Now we have played a bunch of warlords, bandits, yellow turbans, but no governors, so this will be quite new and quite interesting. And Ma Teng here, historically, I wouldn't call him a governor. He's definitely more of a warlord. This is definitely the game's take on him as a character. We'll talk more about his history once we jump into game and talk about why he is in his current situation at the start of the 194 campaign. And we picked the 194 because we just finished a campaign on 190, and the 194 provides slightly more historically accurate, updated framework for all the other factions on the map, as it is one of the latest starting dates on this timeline. You have to jump to 291 or the 8 Princes when 3 Kingdoms is over for the next slot. Now in the future we're probably going to get this filled out a bit more and we'll have other reflections of it, but this is a pretty good time slot if we want to play as Ma Teng, as if we go any farther we're probably going to play as Ma Chou, his son instead, who's standing behind his father right here. Now faction wise, Ma Teng is quite interesting. He has a background title called Protector of the West, which gives him a lot of bonuses. 15 points to melee damage for all cavalry, 100% income to silk and spice, which is quite powerful since you do start out in the northwest with 2 of the silk resources already, so this is going to help your income. And on top of that, you get 20% recruitment and upkeep cost discount for all Qiang units. And this includes the 3 faction unique Qiang cavalry units, that's the Qiang hunters, the Qiang Marauders, and the Qiang Raiders. They stand for range, shock cavalry or polearm cavalry, and melee or sword and shield. And the requirement for each of these is rank 1 generals of any class, rank 3 generals of any class, and rank 5 generals of any class. So it's pretty available to all generals, and since they're the only units we can use, in addition to there are 3 new Qiang infantry units that we can recruit if we upgrade our unique building, the Xiliang supply line, past rank 3. I believe we can recruit all 3 at that time. So these are the only 6 units we can use in the game, and that's going to provide a different set of challenges. But as you can see, when we have Ma Teng as one of our leaders, which we do at the beginning, at least until he dies of old age, we will get a 20% discount for all the recruitment and upkeep of these Qiang units. Now trait-wise, the trait for Ma Teng is pretty poor. Cruel is not very easy on public order in the early stages, and Careless has -4 cunning, also makes it more easy for us to fall into ambushes, and Loyal doesn't really help him very much because he is the faction leader himself. So in the grand scheme of things, these traits are not very good, especially for a leader, because on the leaders we want to see high authority, which since we have a Vanguard General as our leader, we would not have. Therefore on higher difficulties, we're going to play this on Legendary 40-minute battle timers again. So we're going to suffer from a bit of satisfaction early on, which we have to overcome. And with all that said, we're just going to take a look at the map real quick just to see where things stand in the 194 map. You still have pretty much all the major factions alive. Sure, some fathers have died and sons have taken over, but pretty much all the playable ones are here. And Dong Zhuo is dead, but Li Jue has taken over through the Civil War, and we'll talk about that historical impact. And Lu Bu is now on his own. Some of the bandits are in new places. All the Nanman or southern tribes are now on the map in the Furious Wild DLC, so there are some competition down south and some stronger factions guarding these spice resources that could help us as well. And Shixie being playable is now one of the icons here. So that's the state of the world. We're still here in our northwest corner. We do start out with quite a bit of land. We have the entirety of Wudu and the entirety of Jincheng, and we'll try to make the most of that. So with that said, let's hop into game and try to conquer China with only the Qiang units.
主公，东贼伏诛已久，现下天子落入李傕手中。
尽管他占据了长安，天下纷乱之事却远远超出了他的掌控。
您长期以来的盟友韩遂背叛了您，在您对长安的进攻失败之后，他便举兵与您为敌。
此等背信弃义之徒，必将一败涂地。李傕亦是如此，此二人绝不会有什么好下场。
在进攻失败后，主公应当立即重整军队，以伺机反攻。
眼下看来不得不暂且偃旗息鼓。然而一旦我重整旗鼓，我便要卷土重来。我当匡扶汉室，将乱臣贼子尽数诛灭。
Alrighty, so this is the start. Let's check out what the game has it for us narrative-wise. Broken friendships. Ma Teng. With the tyrant dead, the capital is in chaos. You made haste to protect the emperor, yet the treacherous Li Jue deceived you, and now your forces lie battered and broken. Already your ally Han Sui points the finger of blame at you. Can you maintain your friendship in the face of such travels? Or must he too face the axe for his treason? Beware of your ally Han Sui. So Han Sui is currently our ally, and we have to retreat away from Li Jue. And our first objective is to simply survive until the spring of 196. So we're given a survival mission. Right now it's harvest of 194, so spring of 195 would be turn 3, and this would be turn 8. So don't die on the first 8 turns and we'll get paid. Not hard to do. And the second mission is for us to have 20 units at the start of turn. Currently we have 16. Now 20 unit is pretty much the same size of one full army minus 1 unit. Each general also counts as a unit, and each general can have 6 retinues, so 7 per group. A max army would be 21. We have 25 turns to make this happen if we choose to do so. And if we do, we get this 10% replenishment for 3 turns and 50% extra experience for all our units per season. And that would be the 3 turns or 3 seasons, 150 experience point. Not a lot of experience, but the replenishment is nice. And let's first talk about the story, because a lot of this story is wrong historically, so I would like to correct it before we move on. So the year is harvest season 194. At this time, the civil war within the faction that Dong Zhuo had control of is over. So you might recall that Lü Bu and Wang Yun, using Diao Chan as a lure, got him to betray his former master Dong Zhuo, and Dong Zhuo was assassinated, and Wang Yun took over at court. But Wang Yun didn't make a strong enough move at Li Jue and Guo Si, who are two former commanders under Dong Zhuo, thinking that he had control of the imperial court. But unfortunately, these, Xiliang cavalry didn't care about policies at court and launched a civil war, and effectively killed Wang Yun and chased out Lü Bu as they seized control of the emperor and the politics here in Chang'an. Now, no one really respected them very much because Li Jue and Guo Si are not very cultured, and they didn't have any, followings, east of the gates that they have guarding, because all these warlords and coalitions already, set their mind to either liberate the emperor or go off and be an emperor themselves. So no one really heeded the call of this fake government that they set up here. But for us out west, the relationship is quite different. Because if we go back to the history of how Ma Teng and Han Sui got started, they were Han generals or lieutenants, small captains and lieutenants in the Han army during a period close to the end of Yellow Turban Rebellion, when out west there was this Qiang rebellion. There was a rebellion in the Liang province. And the Qiang people, namely auxiliary units that followed the Han army, decided to rebel because of corruption, lack of payment, and poor treatment of them in the army. And what happened was the group that Ma Teng and Han Sui and another gentleman named Wang Guo, the three of them were lieutenants in an army, and their commander got killed in a coup. And they decided that they will seize power and join the rebels. So technically, Ma Teng, Han Sui rebelled against the Han Empire. But no one's going to mind that, because by the time the Liang Rebellion was wrapping up, and they were, separate factions, with Ma Teng taking control of a small piece and Han Sui taking over a small piece after the death of Wang Guo, who they had propped it up as their leader. He died and they split the rest of the force, and they were not that friendly. They were basically looking out for each other's interest, or their own interest. And then during this period, as we close into 190, Dong Zhuo came to power and shifted the capital from Luoyang all the way to Chang'an, which, as you can see, is at the doorstep of these northwestern nomadic forces or rebel groups. So they decided that rebelling against the central government, who is now super close to them and from the same region, because Dong Zhuo hailed from Xiliang as well, they decided that was a bad idea. So they went to talk to Dong Zhuo to join them, go back to the Han government, Dong Zhuo's Han government. And Dong Zhuo agreed. So Ma Teng and Han Sui became governors, quote unquote, during that period. But as you can see, Dong Zhuo's good time didn't last, and after Wang Yun's, assassination attempt that succeeded, there was chaos in the capital, and then finally Li Jue and Guo Si took over. Now, Li Jue and Guo Si are both from the Xiliang region too, so technically they are friendly with Ma Teng. But why do we find ourselves at war at this point? Well, the reason is there was a personal spat between Guo Si and Ma Teng himself. And Ma Teng got so angry at Guo Si that he launched an attack against Guo Si. And at the time, they were still Han loyalists, loyal to the emperor at court, because the court was still functioning under this false government. They started to write letters to Ma Teng, hoping that he and his men, with the help of Han Sui, who was a close friend at this point, would come and kill off Guo Si and Li Jue and free the emperor. And that letter got into Li Jue and Guo Si's hand, which means now Ma Teng is getting chased out. And Han Sui, at this point, didn't betray us yet. That comes later. Right around this time is actually where Han Sui and Ma Teng become sworn brothers, historically. But then that relationship fractures as there are tribal disputes, and eventually Han Sui will go off and murder Ma Teng's wife, and then they would break off forever and be at each other's throat until both of them surrendered to Cao Cao. And then Ma Teng got a cushy government job in Ye and left Ma Chao behind to rule over his land. And then Ma Chao got sweet-talked by Han Sui to rebel, and then Cao Cao chopped off Ma Teng's head. So that's Ma Teng's life story, real quick. And where we find ourselves is kind of accurate historically, but kind of not. We find ourselves being chased by, in here is Li Jue's army, which is totally fine. Guo Si is also here. Who else do they have? Fan Chou. Okay, so we are getting chased and we're asked to survive. Our army's in bad shape. We have half-health generals, half-health units, and the units are bad. And they break some of our rules. We cannot recruit or use anything that's not Qiang. So we will have to delete these and continue to run away. We do have some good generals. We have a few. We have Ma Teng himself. I would say he's average. He has a bit of authority added into his stats to help him be a leader. And he also has authority skill as part of his skill tree, even though most of the other skills are just a generic vanguard skill, so not too different from a vanguard with just a little splash of commander active ability. It's not a super good one. It's strong, but I wouldn't say it's game breaking. And then we have Peng De, who we'll talk about his historical stuff a bit later. He does have a semi-unique title in the game, White Horse General, which is quite nice. He's currently level 1, but he has some good traits, namely he has stubborn, which makes him unbreakable. Which means if we want to defend certain settlements, he will be an ideal candidate to throw in there to loop the enemy around, because he will never run away due to army loss or anything like that. And he can, be really fast with a bad horse and be able to let the tower finish off the enemy. So not a bad general here. And because he has fondness to Cao Cao, because historically he ends up working for Cao Cao, this is just added in case, the AI Ma Teng faction gets wiped. Peng De is more likely to join Cao Cao. For us, not a big issue. He has friendship with Ma Teng. I think what they mean by that is they have the friend relationship already established. Therefore, there's a little bit of added satisfaction boost, which is going to help us a lot because we lack authority. Aside from him, we have our son, the outstanding most brilliant warrior. If you notice here, he also has minus 10% upkeep for Qiang units. Now this is upkeep only and only 10%. This is recruitment and upkeep 20%. So the father version is much better, but Ma Chao's version will help. It will reduce the cost of holding on to these Qiang units that we're going to be utilizing. He also gives some armor to all shock cavalries and also some damage to all shock cavalries. So he only boosts shock versions of the cavalry, the red spear version, whereas Ma Teng boost the damage of all cavalry units. So in this case, he might actually benefit more from recruiting some of these Qiang raiders. Now that's a faction-wide bonus, so it doesn't have to be on him, but it makes these stronger just because most of their attack damage is actually base damage rather than armor piercing, so the boost will be more effective on them. And we definitely need to rely on their high range block chance because we are not going to have any siege weapons in this campaign. So a lot of complicated things going on here. We have a strategist here. He's not that great. He's a generic character. He has this. Elusive is good. Elusive has 10% commerce, silk, and spice boost. As we said, silk and spice is a major thing for us. So maybe we can develop him into an administrator. Meanwhile, we have our wife, Hualan Li, who is a generic sentinel. Now, Clerk is decently strong. There are players who like to use Clerk as their heir for the -2 term construction, but I'm gonna stick with Ma Chao here because I don't know how much construction we're gonna be rushing since we already have pretty full built commanderies at the beginning. She's better off being assistant to us, just using her assignment to help us reduce 1 term construction, also some construction cost. That might be a better balance than just sending her off to become our heir. Nothing special about her. Generic character, generic skill tree. She also has stubborn, so that means she can also be a defender type. I mean, as assignment character, she's not going to make it onto the field, but that's something we can do. Now, first thing first, we do get quite a haul here, which is excellent. And these are good items, all very useful. Shaman helps us capture generals. Representationists help us increase trade influence and a lot of cunning. And then Zhuangzi here provides a nice retinue upkeep discount, which will be very helpful since we will have a lot of expensive cavalry units. These Qiang Marauders are 224 upkeep per turn, compared to these Qiang Hunters, which are just amazing. So these are the ones I like quite a lot. These are cheaper, and we're going to try to recruit as many of these as we can, because even on a dumb-witted character like Ma Teng, who has low cunning, 26, that's as low as you can get, 0% extra ammo. Look at our base ammo case here. We still have 50. So they carry quite a bit of ammo. Now, of course, you have to divide this by 4 because they are quarter unit size for the amount of raw damage they will do. But the range is excellent, and even when they run out, the damage is pretty good, plus the charge is decent. They have pretty much a melee cavalry charge, and of course, all Qiang cavalry immune fatigue. So all those factors are great. First thing we're going to do after looking at our cool items is we're going to go to diplomacy because we have the most amount of men. Oh, I clicked reforms. We can look at reforms. These are the free reforms we get in 194 because after all, we do start out the game a few years after the 190 base case. So we get corresponding amount of reforms added in. Now the reform they picked are not great, but they're not terrible. So this is a complete waste. I don't know why we pick up, 4 military supplies, quite useless. But we're very close to getting 10% replenishment. In this case, I would say this is where I'm going to go first. We're going to pick up this one here, and we'll get caltrops on top of that, even though if we go all cavalry, we can't use that. Once we get our hand on some infantry, Qiang infantry, we can use that. But right now, we'll just get this just so that we can get this. And then we might go back to the blue side of things to pick up the level 4 silk and eventually level 5 silk. There is no need to rush this time because we can't utilize Onyx Dragons. That's part of the rule here. So that's all something we can look forward to. But for now, I need to go do diplomacy. We are at war with Li Jue, therefore all his vassals. We have Han Empire, we have Yang Feng, we have Zhang Yang, we have Zhang Ji. And we are currently in a military ally or alliance with Han Sui, which is okay, but if you look at the faces here, he actually hates us the most. He signed a peace with our enemy. And we had past hostilities, there's a personal rivalry going on, so it's going to be rough. I don't know when he will betray us, but he is going to betray us. Then we have Liu Zhang to the south with Zhang Lu here as his vassal. Now, historically, they break off from this relationship around this time or very soon. Actually, no, it should have already happened. I think Liu Zhang's father, Liu Yan, died in 192, if I'm not mistaken. And then he took over and immediately their relationship fractured. And then Zhang Lu became independent. But this is not the case here, so it doesn't matter. And they're probably going to be our first trade partners. Yep. Let's see how much we can make from either one. I'm probably going to trade with Liu Zhang here. He gives a bit more. And we can also take a peek at the items he started out with. He does have a weapon at the beginning, which is quite cool. Now let me just take a peek at the other one. Okay, so neither factions have items that I would want, and those items would be Philosopher, Concubine, Legalist, Fanatic, something to help with our satisfaction. Since neither of them have that, we're going to go with the one with more money. And we don't have a lot of food to spare, actually. It looks like we do, but the problem here is I'm going to be switching that fishing building over to get a little bit less food, and then we're also going to try to upgrade that commandery. And we don't have a lot of food close to us. Therefore, we're going to be careful with trading away food, and we're not going to do that. So if we're not going to trade away food, we're going to just have to see how much we can get back. Pretty much nothing. Like if we offer one food, maybe we can get some money back. I'm not the type who likes to give out free stuff. I think We'll get rid of the wooden fish for 1 point. If we can get over 100 here, I'll do it. Yeah, we can actually. Okay, let's do it. We'll tough this out, and I need the extra income early on. And we'll be trading with Liu Zhang. Eventually we'll go destroy them. But our short-term goal is to first beat back Li Jue and then take over Han Sui's territory. We want to be in firm control of the northwest before we expand into the Shuba region and then expand into the Nanman region. We're going to be holding the west and fighting our way east, or that's my plan in my mind right now. Alright, now we can focus on how to manage this war at hand. They are chasing us. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of all of these units that are not Qiang, and that's actually going to increase our movement range, as you can see here, because the movement on the campaign map is by the slowest unit, or the slowest unit type, in this case infantry, in the army. And there we go. So now we can escape pretty far. They don't have much movement. I also don't think they have a lot of army either. This doesn't look that strong. Like they have no items. If we can get them to come assist, oh, gotta get rid of these as well. We can probably fight here. The garrison's non-existent, but there are towers on this map, which we can utilize. So let's first escape here to pick up 2% more replenishment. They cannot reach us. I am going to recall Pang De for the full heal. I don't think we need the strategist. I'd rather have him do assignment next turn. We're going to do 1 turn cooldown. And this way we'll move Ma Chao over, at least towards reinforcement. But we don't need to reinforce this turn. So we could also showcase something that's unique to us as well. When we encamp as Ma Teng's faction, we get food. That's something that's additional. We can generate food from armies. That means if we have extra army slots and we have extra generals without any retinues, we can just encamp them on the map, and each of them are worth 2 food. And that's one way to boost our food supplies if we need to do that. But in this case, they don't really need to do that. I will much rather have them just close by in ambush mode. There we go. And Pang De will be summoned back. These will take quite a long time to heal up, but I don't want to recall... I mean, it wouldn't make sense for us to recall them. We just have to heal them here. I don't want to cancel them either. About our wife, this is also an interesting situation. I think I want to divorce her and marry her off to someone else. Use her as bait. Ideally, when playing as Ma Teng, if we can steal Sun Ce, which has his own faction now, it's going to be difficult. But if we can, that's the best character to steal, because he doubles charge bonuses. So this 303 that you see here will become 606. And your cavalry just become godlike. But that requires him getting wiped first. He might. We never know. And who can our wife help us steal? That's the question. Maybe Zheng Lu's son at this point. But no one good, basically. I'm trying to think who has family members that are actually valuable that we can actually talk to. Probably no one. The good news is, since she has family, she is free. She's just angry at us, which is not good. I don't want to give her a title. She's also unbreakable. Yeah, I don't know what to do with her. We do have assignment available, but we don't have administrators available. Ideally, we get Fugong to level up as a assignment character and then shift him to become administrator, and then we probably need someone else to do assignments. She could do that, I guess. It's a free character, so we shouldn't really chase her out. It just, I'm very concerned about this. That's not good because that doesn't do us anything. We don't need peasantry boost. We also have a couple of sons who will come of age very soon. Ma Xiu and Ma Teng, 16 and 13. So about 10 turns and about 25 turns. Yeah. Okay. We'll let her sulk for a little bit. We could pay 100. Alright, we can boost her by 15. That way she's not in the red. That way we don't pick up the penalty. There's a penalty if you have someone in the red, which I don't want to pick up. I guess you can be an attendant. It's more than a 15-point boost because recently promoted will be 10 points. Those will go down every turn by 2 points. So in 5 turns, this will be 27, but she will stay at 27 unless she picks up the idleness, a lack of purpose. We'll find a purpose for her. Don't worry about that part. All right. Do we want to recruit any units? That's the other question. Because we can. We can recruit quite a few units, actually. Also, low cunning. $486 and 158. We might grab a few of these. Hold on, let's see what buildings we need to build. We have 2 full commanderies. This one is only a town, level 2, and I intend to keep it that way in case conflicts start down here. So we're gonna first do tax collection. That's the typical move. Here we have a small city already. That's quite nice and it's pretty well built. The only thing I would change is I would go from 5 food and 130 income to 3 food and 110 income plus 25% boost to commerce, which will synergize well with this. We will lose food, as you notice here, which is something that's not good because we traded away one of our foods. So the second we go this, we go -1 food. So we can't do this yet. Do I want to spend money on this? Not quite. We'll get some discounts on recruiting, but it's not enough to justify spending the raw cash because we want units right now. So I'm gonna flush out this army with 2 more of these, and we'll max it out here. It would have been slightly cheaper if we joined the 2 armies, but unfortunately the dad and son don't get along in terms of harmony, so we're going to split them apart. And also when you merge armies, you lose most of your supplies, and I don't want to do that right now because supply actually give us higher replenishment, so we don't want to lose that. And our first goal is to beat back this army, take San Pass, and take Hanzhong's Meixian. And historically, we should be at Meixian, and Jingcheng should be owned by Han Sui at this point. That should be the deployment of these 2 generals under Li Jue. But anyhow, I think we have all fronts covered. We spent everything we have. I can change tax rates. Then let's do it. Because if we farm rebels, I'm totally down at this point because we just need the income. And we don't have anyone here because I don't want to utilize her. I want to utilize the strategist. We're going to wait a turn on that. And I think that's about it. Let's continue. Alright, so they're going to war down south. None of our business. He seems to be recruiting a few more units. Not too scared. Fan Chou left. Jia Xu replaced him because Fan Chou was here. Okay, so this is not new units. This is an entirely new retinue being added in because he left, probably due to dissatisfaction. Right. We don't need to pick him up. Nothing special about him. I don't even think he has items because he left so early. Probably didn't take anything with him. And let's see. I'm not that interested in these characters either. Local heroes, generic. He is quite high level, but not useful. He could be a spy. Gao Liang. Okay, it's far away. Yeah, not interested in these. We got ourselves a mathematician. We didn't pass out the items. Right, that's a loss of money actually, because our leader can actually increase our trade influence. I don't care that much about reserves. What we're gonna do is get Pang De back with full health. They get along, but he's going to go on assignment, unfortunately. We want the 75% from commerce. There's a lot of commerce here. Does the son get along with the mom? Nope. That's also a negative. Mom and dad doesn't get along. Okay, so Ma Teng gets along with nobody, it seems. That's gonna be a difficult thing. He's gonna get this for the reserve bonus. We're gonna give him the stone pig. No. Give him this to boost satisfaction, because if we don't have this, it's +1. If we have this, it's +2. He will get this to reduce retinue upkeep. He will pick up some extra damage and capture chance. Don't have any weapons. Okay. We can recruit a few more units and just wait for their arrival. Gonna flush out his unit entirely here. And in terms of buildings, we're just gonna stick to free buildings for now. When rebels come, we'll deal with that. Probably with our wife Pang De and maybe a future general recruit. Or we can just turn off the taxes very soon, depending on when they attack us. Just waiting for this fight. Let's continue. Alright, they just keep on recruiting. Yang Feng left the empire, or their alliance. We'll upgrade this. I need better generals, because I can't recruit anything on him. He's level 1, so we can only default to these, and these are quite expensive. Well, they just recruited a few more units. I don't know when they're gonna come, but please come soon. Don't build up anymore. Come and fight us. What if we dropped it? That's acceptable, actually. Let's slow down this rebellion trend. I can't really deal with it with this war coming. What is up with this staring contest? I thought they were supposed to chase us. Alright, we do get to pick our first reform. We're gonna head towards replenishment. I don't know, this doesn't bring anything immediate for us. Satisfaction for vanguards, that's for father and son, which don't really need that. I'm tempted to grab this. Oh, the question is, does the level 3 building require a small city? Yes, it does, so we can't utilize that. We can try to grab an extra trade route. Let's stick to the plan, I think. Alright, let's stick to the plan. Get the replenishment first. We do have 3 generals. Yang Bo left Zhang Lu's faction, also a clerk. Meng Qiu, disgraced noble, so he's a bandit. Minus 10 recruitment cost if he's the administrator of a commandery. Yang Feng. Can he be a spy? I'm not that interested in him. If he was a commander that's a Han commander, I would snatch him up for nobility, but because he's not, he doesn't have nobility. Li Jue. Yeah, I don't trust these, especially the last 2, who look like spies to me. So we're gonna pass on them. Can you please attack us? Oh wow, siege weapons too, huh? 2 siege weapons. How far can they move now they have siege weapons? I think they can reach us, right? That little bit of movement right there means they can. So please come fight us. Why wait? Here, you can look pretty. He's also in the red. We're gonna have to spend another 100 on him. Alright, that's it. Let's continue. They're just not budging. Wow. Our random item luck is doing really well. But I want some generals. Like, we're gonna run out of things to... Well, we're gonna survive to 196, it seems. I want to give them a few more turns. If they don't move, we'll pull out. I can't afford to lose this. I mean, it does hurt our income. I think this contributes quite a bit. But I'm ready to bypass them. We can cut them off this way if we have to. Or I can set up ambush a little bit closer. I'm pretty confident in our cavalry. I can't attack the pass. That's suicide. But I can take the army out on open. He switched the siege weapon again. How much money are they wasting switching retinues? This was a trebuchet, now it's a mess. So, what do we want to build here? Well, I prefer to upgrade this the silk trade because they synergize with each other. So we can upgrade both silk. Both of the income will be much higher. It's almost like the utility building in Monopoly, because the percentage boost to silk is shared between each building, so it's combined and stacked faction-wide. Alright, still can't do anything. We are fully replenished now. We're actually ready to fight, but they're not offering us a fight, so we wait. Alright, here they came, but we failed the ambush. Which is a bad thing, because now they're not fighting at the city. They walk to the ambush first. If I retreat the ambush, then they might not be able to help the city, but we still want the towers regardless. Like, even if you have fire arrows, and even these have fire arrows on them, we can burn our towers down, we still want the towers to help us. Yeah, I don't want this fight. We'll withdraw. So we're going to take the smaller force to take them on. We won't get Ma Chao to help us out. And I still think this is doable. So let's give this a shot. Alright, so first off, this is a battle that we will never lose. Just have that in mind, because we are fatigue immune. We have speed and mobility, which they lack. So if worst case scenario, we can't beat them, which is very likely given that we had to abandon our main force of Ma Chao, so we lost some dueling power as well, and we can't beat them, then we just go around the edge and run our troops around and loop them, just to buy time. We're defenders here. And then once we get the draw, Ma Chao's army comes in next turn, at the beginning turn, and we crush them outside this trade port, or silk trade. So that's the goal. We want to avoid their main army. We don't want to get hit by any of those siege weapons with this force, including the generals. I think we'll let them run alongside each other. And we'll turn off dueling for now until we figure out the situation. And the best way to run away is probably this way. There we go, that's fine. And then the rest, I don't necessarily want them to just sacrifice themselves. There's no purpose to stay inside. They might need to run this way too. Alright, we'll get them to run this way then. And then this group can make for a run into the trees right there. We have deployables, which we're gonna place right here, because I know for a fact those cavalry units will try to enter. And we can try to wipe out a few. I'm going to make them a little bit denser. The fire component is going to be a little bit awkward because maybe we just put it here. I don't think it's going to be useful. Alright, let's go. So they're gonna go try to hide in these trees. Meanwhile, we're gonna first get clear of the building. And there's our Qiang cavalry. And we're already firing on the move. We have huge range. It's a very powerful unit. I'm more concerned about this group. These are not very tall trees, but as long as we can get out of vision here. I wonder if we can get out of vision here. What if we turn off auto fire and like lay it out here? They're not shooting anything with fire projectiles at our towers just yet, which is a great sign. The siege weapon is super annoying. This is where Panda might be very useful, because he's unbreakable. We can loop him by himself around to try to take out some siege weapons. I'm gonna call him 3. That's what he's gonna do. No dueling though. They're gonna be slow to enter, so maybe once the main force enters, we can pick them off. They're all hidden. They're not yet. Speed-wise, these things are faster. That could still be an issue. Yeah, I'm gonna show Ma Teng, see what they do. And then I'm gonna actually make the charge call to get them to react to me a little bit. The AI knows when you're charging them. Oh, they're just going in, huh? Not interested in us? Go, go, go. We could kill Guo Si. Yeah, we're gonna go for a draw here, but hopefully we can wipe out some of the siege weapons. This is the most important part right now. Get the clean kill on the siege weapon. They didn't capture the tower. We don't have to overcommit. If we see, you know, enemy cavalry coming at us or something like that, we just run for it. Alright, they join forces, it seems, so we can go back in and capture these. Did they crush any of these? Yeah, a few horses died here. They never capture this. He's gonna make a clean getaway once we step on this. Just watch. Immediate, stop chasing. You're like, nope, someone's in the settlement, gotta go kill them. Alright, we got it back. Let's go hide. Resuming the chase, as you can see. We're gonna let them chase a little bit, maybe into this zone. And then Ma Teng will come back out and capture that one. We'll take a break. No need to do anything rash here. Perfect. Make sure we get our flag back. Actually, let's go all the way out. They're in the range. Alright, they're interested in chasing us again. And we're gonna go hiding. Please hide, please hide. Buy him some time, buy him some time. Yeah. Once we're hidden, once we show them something else, they'll stop chasing him. See, now they're coming back for us. Go away, go away. And hopefully just before they enter, yep, that's right, boys. Chase me. Because I'm the destroyer of your multi-bolt crossbow. And they're gonna get soaked up in arrow damage right now. They're actually firing at me. Interesting. Kill them all. There we go, there we go. Alright, let's slow it down again. Get out of vision. Get in vision. This time I want them to chase in. I want those wooden stakes to be used. Kill off those cavalry. We can recapture the towers later. Come on, react to me. That's right, palm those out of sight, out of mind. I'm inside. What's he gonna do about it? Alright, that one already got beat by the arrow towers. They're also gonna get beat. I don't think we can aim at these anymore. We can. Alright, yeah, fire the cavalry. See, they still fire at other things. They don't really listen to you. They're not coming in? They're like, what is this advanced empty fort tactic? Why is Ma Teng the only one here? Must be a trap. Let's stand outside and let the arrow towers hit us forever. Until the infantry can go in and check first, which would not break these. The generals can break them, take the damage, not get killed. That's probably the best plan. These juggernauts can technically burn these buildings down. They're not doing that. Right, the infantry is rushing in. I'm pretty sure most of the cavalry would die. Generals here. Off we go. Goodbye. Yeah, the cavalry finished running through all these, killed a few more. Now some of them are going to ride through this, try to capture this flag. And we're going to toast them as well. Very bright, very bright. Oh no, our camera's getting dragged away because our unit's leaving. That's fine, we'll get to see the fire. Oh, look at this infantry. Oh, come back, watch the show. Yeah, battle realism. You can only have camera view for like 200 meters. Well, at least they get damaged and know not to come here anymore. Come on, keep running in, keep running in. Very smart. Oh, we're gonna leave. Safety first. That is our leader. Alright, I burned some of his health away. We definitely lose control of all the towers, which is a bummer. Oh, guess what? Let's kill off all of these. They're trying to go back to their machine. Not if I'm here. Good. Uh-oh. Hold on. They really like to chase Peng De. I mean, Peng De pretty much wiped out their 2 siege weapons, so I guess that's understandable. Actually, Peng De, just run to the very edge. Stay in vision so they keep chasing. And we can do some of the recapturing right now. Spear guards. Can't really mess with them. Alright, I wonder if they'll even turn around at this. Okay, they do. That's all. Once we don't capture, I think they'll go back to chasing him. Yeah. You guys can't catch me. I can do this. You guys can't do anything about me. Goodbye. Alright, Peng De's gotta run. We're gonna switch spots. We're going to draw their attention back to the area here. We get some morale back. I don't think we can though. I think they're going to chase us pretty quick. Let's pop out. I guess the rest would be a looping simulation here. I don't think they're interested in going back in again, and they don't have enough cavalry to chase me down. They have like 1 unit left. Like, even if we fight them with our units, we might just be able to win this straight up with what they have left. The general's not very healthy either. Like, Guo Si wants to fight. I don't even think he can beat us. We have a bronze weapon at the very least. Maybe we don't even need our son. Hold on. Maybe if we loop this way now? We gotta break vision. They're overreacting to them. Ah, we had the looping thing going. Okay, okay. We're back to the looping thing. They went out of vision again. You're gonna have to return a favor to us. Oh, never mind. They gave up. They don't care about. They care about Peng De a lot. They're like, who is this Ma Teng guy? I guess it would be a draw. They're not giving me a chance to wipe out more of them. Go, 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 go. If we can capture before they make the turn, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, come out, come out. Yeah, don't move. Don't even fire. Yeah, we're not gonna wipe them out. We're just gonna go hide. We're gonna try to micro these, get some kills on them. Pretty sure we can. Gotta practice on these. They fire while moving, so it's pretty easy. They're getting kills on the routing units, but I'd rather them get kills on some archer militias, maybe. And the firing rate on these are really nice too. Alright, can we stop moving? I want to move into their range. There we go. Alright, move over here. Fire and then move. It's like attack move here. Once we get fire arrows, just need level 3 strategists. Commanders might be good too, because you get mobility and composure. That way we are fast moving fire arrow. Oh, acting up, trying to charge us. Okay, get the draw, but we have them on the ropes here. Alrighty, I call that a win. Yeah, 0 casualty versus 1,035. That's a win. We'll get the money. Alright, glorious victory. Yeah, even the game think we won that one. There's divisions in the capital. Though the tyrant's dead, control of the emperor is far from settled. Li Jue and Guo Si, the two of them will split too. Two of Dongzhuo's former generals, and Ertwell's allies are the ostensible regents, but two such ambitious men could not work together for long. Mutual suspicion has escalated to paranoia, then hostility, and now gains of their supporters skirmish in the streets and alleys of Chang'an. And I think eventually that's gonna end the war with us, but we did well. We got ourselves a nice armor. We also won a battle where you and your ally loses 200 or less men. An enemy must have at least 8 units. Kiting with these fatigue immune cavalry is insane. We had enough reserves to not suffer any attrition, so we're still fine. Of course, our son will come rescue us, and we're going to proceed by counterattacking. We want the 3rd silk in our hand, and then we want a peace deal with them, so that we can turn our attention to Han Sui. And once we have the entire northwest under our control, we'll probably move south. We want to take over Shu. We're going to take over all the Nanman lands. Very lucrative down here. And then we'll see which part of the eastern front we want to attack from first. Probably the south, but we'll see. And until then, bye!